Hi Matthew, so I'm pleased to report your green Mamba lightsaber is finally ready. As you know, we had to change the speaker out. The one we got from TCSS was faulty, so it's actually an upgrade in there. The original one is an 8-ohm speaker, and that's a 4-ohm, which is slightly louder, slightly better performing. It'll come with this amazing aluminium stand. You'll need to do a bit of assembly on this stand when you get it because of the way it's packed, but I'll send you a video link to talk you through how to do that. It's very, very simple. This actual hilt is a masterclass in engineering and CNC machining. It's absolutely incredible. I've never built a hilt like it. So yeah, let's have a proper look around it. So I think it's first worth spending a little bit of time just looking at the extraordinary design and engineering that's gone into this. As I say, it really is CNC machining masterclass, and yeah, really impressive. I mean, the aesthetic may not be to everybody's taste, but you cannot deny its impressiveness. Yeah, really nicely thought out. Putting it together, sort of mechanically, the way everything fits together is just phenomenal. It's not the most generous install in terms of space for wiring and everything, but there is enough, and it is pretty well thought out. So you've got battery in the back here, all sealed. You can't remove the battery. It's all pre-wired through. Circuit board is in here. This is your charge port and your kill switches there. I'll come back to that in a moment. And unlike your scavenger and your thorn hunters, this is 2-button operation. So that's our main button, and that's the AUX, just those tiny little black dots. Now, the one thing that comes with it, these two are just dummies, but these two are functional. Now, what comes with it in terms of charging, if we just take that off, this is magnetic. Just a little magnetic greebly. That's the magnetic charge port, and this is the cable that comes with it. Now, the idea is you put it there and it clips into place. I've got to say, I'm not wild about this because you kind of inevitably have to go in slightly sideways, and when you get to the point where the magnet sort of sucks it on, it's possible for that ring to short both pins, both the ring and the center pin at the same time, just for an instant. And those are basically live to the battery all the time, regardless of whether the kill switch is on or off. Now, what would almost certainly happen if they did short is all that would happen is the battery safety cutout would trip. Then as soon as you start applying charge, connect the charger to it, that would reset it. So likely if it did short, you'd probably never even know about it. But I like things to be a bit sort of bulletproof. So that's the only thing I'm not wild about. So what I'm going to do is include this, which is a charging blade plug, and the idea is that would just slot into the blade plug, just snip it into place. USB-C charge cable there, which I'll also include. Unless you've already got one, just let me know. And then you can just connect that to a USB output, and that will charge it. There's a special charge preset in there, which I'll take you through in a second once we fire it up. But that seems to me a much safer way of charging it than using the magnetic plug. And even when you put this back, I mean, the outside edge of that is metal, and it's scarily easy for it to short just sort of on its way in, so to speak. So just be a bit careful about that. Once it's in place, it's all fine, obviously. And so our kill switch is here now. It's rotary, and it just goes either direction. It's basically one click on, next click off, on, off, and it just keeps going around. So if we boot it up, now that boot sound effect was actually the music that goes on the custom Saber Shop Green Mamba Sting that they made. I've mixed in some extra sound effects, some extra snake sound effects, but it seemed an appropriate boot sound. So that boot sound is global across all the fonts. That seemed to fit. So in terms of accents, we've got a couple of nice green accents there. So they'll blink green with the blade off, green and red when the blade is on, add a bit of colour. We've got our custom crystal chamber here, which will follow the blade colour. And then I've added the third preset on this. I've added so that the blade connector blinks. Now, if you were to have a blade in here, I've done that preset, so only the first 8 pixels blink. Reason being is 8 pixels on the blade connector. So it means that if you had a blade in there, just the first inch would blink. On all the other presets, it's just normal. That's just off. But I just thought for displaying it, because you've got that beautiful stand, the more blinkies and things you can have, the better. So that's the third preset. But so you'll get a list of all the presets and everything. So to fire it up, short click of the main. So there she is, all lit up. Now your blade retention screw is actually that middle one. You can see it's slightly raised because it's slightly longer than the others. So that's blade retention. It's a weird size Allen key, so I've taken the liberty of buying one and adding it to your thing, so you've got it. It's 7/64 of an inch or something. Probably quite common in America, but not very common over here in the UK. So that's your blade retention. And the sound font that I've put on it, the primary sound font is TCSS Induction, which again I'll include with it. Which it just seemed to fit. It's just got that sort of mechanical type, metallic sort of feel to it. So they just seem to fit. Obviously, you've got all your usual effects: blaster blocks, lockups. So yeah, it's all there. So another thing I've added to this one, which obviously wouldn't have been on your scavenger and everything, is my new button system. So this makes navigating the fonts much easier, which is quite important because you've got your charging preset for the blade plug. So the idea is clicking, I mean, again, this will all be printed out for you, but clicking with the hilt point, clicking the AUX with the hilt pointing up goes forward a font, clicking pointing down goes backwards a font, and there are also shortcuts to get to the first font, the last font, which is the charging font, or the middle font. But for now, let me just run you through getting to the charge preset. If we point it down, press and hold the AUX and just wait.
Battery charging mode.
So now everything shuts off except the sort of charging system. So when you fit that blade plug, instead of the normal blade plug, fit the charging blade plug, now that would just charge the battery. Just leave it switched on. You don't have to switch the kill key off. And on the blade plug, this will light up red while it's charging and then turn blue when it's fully charged. So really, you almost never need the kill switch at all. And as I say, you don't need to risk doing shorts on that magnetic job. And then to get back to the first font is point it up and press and hold the AUX.
Induction.
So yeah, so we're back to the first font. So you've got induction on there. I put it on 3 times, once without the pre-on effect, once with the pre-on effect, and once with that blinking for the blade. Then you've got all your scavenger fonts, you've got your Thrawn Hunter fonts that you had before, all the freebies on there. So you've got a whole range of different things. Obviously you can change blade colors and everything yourself with a button push. Again, it's all described. So so that is your quite remarkable Green Mamba lightsaber. Enjoy.